I remember living in California between the years 1995 and 2003. And somewhere in there, they passed a law that made it okay for people to have medical marijuana. And when they had already passed the law that said you couldn't smoke in the bars, I said, oh, this is a test. How much can they tell us what we can and can't do? Because even then, I was a non-smoker. I had not been smoking ever anywhere in my life. And I thought, that's a bullshit deal. Are you threatening me? He was just testing us. Whoever it was. When they did the smoking thing. And then there was one point I stopped in a bar in Santa Cruz. And I had started... Oh, let's not go too fast. The idea... that everything was illegal, and I didn't do any of it. But it bothered me. They're going to take smoking out of the bars, they're testing us. And at that point, they'd come up with medical marijuana at the time in San Jose, California. And I said, I don't care if they do it or not. And then Bill Clinton comes up, and he, as a federal agent, says you can't have that. This is not a state-run thing. States do not decide what's good for them. It's ultimately the federal decision to say what's okay and what isn't. And he said, no medical marijuana in California. Marijuana. They come up with that medical marijuana thing. And he said, no. And I remember hearing him saying he smoked, but he didn't inhale. And I'm like, that means you're just a pussy and you're going to do whatever they tell you to do. You're so far entrenched in peer pressure and what people think about you. Your locus of control is external. They tell you what you do. I said, this fucking bastard's gonna say, and then they had free weed on the steps of the courthouse in Santa Cruz on a Tuesday. As I said, didn't smoke weed. I just found it interesting. I was at work. I would have liked to have gone down there just to see how it went, but I had a job. Not everybody does. And when the medical marijuana thing came up, look at that. I got a plant. I don't care if it's dead or not. It still loves me. And I was on radio coming up at the time. I thought about the idea of, medical marijuana. And all these people in nursing homes and assisted living and things like that. And how in the classes I was going through, how they talk about studies showing that having an animal helps people live longer. It's not just about people living longer, it's about the quality of life. It's like, are they happy? And if they're happy, they'll live longer. That's a result of quality of life, is living longer. And I said, well, geez, if they can have a dog or a cat and it'll help them live longer, and they're in a home and they can't have a dog or a cat, and medical marijuana is okay, because they could use it a little bit, wouldn't it be something to give all the people in the nursing homes marijuana plants to grow? And they'd take care of it, take care of it, take care of it, This is not what is this? This is just some dead thing that came out of the house. And they grow this thing. They grow this thing and it makes them feel good. It gives them something to take care of, something that depends on them. It means if you care for something and it depends on you, you're not going to be so quick to go out, and you will enjoy keeping things copacetic. And I said, well, if they just gave everybody marijuana plants in nursing homes, maybe the grandchildren would come to visit them more often. Couldn't they just sit there and go, oh yeah? Versus when they first walked in and they're looking at their watch and they're going, I gotta get the fuck out of here. This person is dying right in front of me. Wouldn't it be better if that person that was dying right in front of you went, oh, look, we've come into fruition, and smoke with the granddaughter, and the granddaughter's like, ah, and grandma's like, and they have time together to speak and enjoy their lives together. And, all this stuff I was saying back then, well, geez, it's recreational now. Recreational means enjoying yourself. And it's finally okay for some granddaughter to come see her dying grandmother. And it makes the dying grandmother's life better. She's like, I got a plant. I've got a pet. I've got something that makes my life worthwhile. I've got something to feed and something that makes me happy. What better pet could you have than cannabis?